Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well this morning. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sherry. This is my channel, My Daily Bread, and the Happy Rapture Watchers Club, where we watch for Jesus without having to be mean or nasty about it. We can name dates here. If somebody comes and posts something mean, I just delete it. If they're really nasty, I block them. And we can just be happy here watching for the rapture without any ugly, mean comments. I do close the comment section in the afternoon or evenings because I like to rest and not be harassed all night long with nasty comments. So let's talk about what is going on as far as the news goes. And oh, I forgot to say, grab some tea or coffee or something and let's just chat. This is a great time to really get focused on events and the coming of our Lord and Savior. So grab something you like to drink and let's talk about it. It's a cloudy day out. I've got heaters maybe kicking on in the background here. It's chilly, it's cloudy. I've got a couple kitty cats in the room with me, and I think I'm going to turn that one down because it's kind of noisy. All right. So let's talk about what's in the news. First thing I noticed today, I did do a little bit of research this morning, and Trump did have a phone call with Maduro and offered him basically exile, as far as I understand, to Turkey. And Maduro has apparently said no because he's waiting. He's got everybody waiting. He didn't leave. And Trump said that it's going to be a ground operation as well. You know, they want the oil. They want control over Venezuela so that no nukes get parked there. Right now, Maduro signed agreements with Russia that they can use any of Russia's military equipment, missiles, anything. So that means, you know, nuclear as well. So it's more than just oil, but it's largely oil and gold, as well as securing the area. That's going on. Russia's staying quite quiet on the thing, and I think it's kind of like I have this feeling it's like a trap for the U.S. It just feels like it to me. We're going to find out. Right now, I just saw an article where they're flying, we're flying, our military's flying the planes. Basically, what they probably will do, they're going to try to do a bombing campaign first. But if it goes horribly wrong and our ships sink, it could immediately, very quickly turn spiral. The whole thing could spiral out of hand very, very, very quickly. Now, for a December 4th rapture, and if you wonder why I'm talking about December 4th, if you don't know, you can go watch my video where I show the real Enoch map and how I counted. It has 3 cycles. The first cycle, September, or the 9th month, and the 23rd and 24th day falls on December 4th on the Gregorian calendar. So according to the Enoch calendar, it starts, I explain it in there, it starts at the spring equinox. And then each time you add 10 days, and then the last cycle you add 30 days, and you're back to the regular cycle. So that's how it works as far as I understand it. You can go do even more research, and I link his channel below that. You can go to Ted Ramp's website and study more on how the calendar works. Okay, so anyways, that's why we're watching the December 4th date, is because of it being on the first cycle on that date. I do not believe in overcomplicating this like everybody's trying to do by subtracting this number, that number, add this, add that. And I know that the rapture does not have to be on a feast day. Jesus rose on a day that wasn't a feast day. We're, as the bride, we don't have to leave on a feast day. And if you actually look at the description of what the Feast of Trumpet is, it's when Jesus comes into his kingdom. It'll be at the very end of the 7-year tribulation, I believe. And with the days being shortened, you know, the rapture doesn't have to be an exact 7 years either. Remember, he said he would shorten the days. So, guys, it could easily be in December sometime. Now, Let's talk about some of the other things I saw in the news. The guy that killed in Washington, D.C., this was really interesting. His name, the guy that killed the two people or shot the three, I almost call them Coast Guards. Oh my gosh, my brain is not awake, you guys. I'm doing my best here. I feel so sleepy today. Like, I'll just try to wake up. National Guard troops, okay? This guy walked up, shot a woman in the head, the National Guard, so sad, and then took her gun, and I think he finished her off and some others. He only had like 6 bullets in his gun or something. Anyways, he had been working with the CIA from Afghanistan and was one of the ones flown out. But they found out something about him that is very unsettling, that the deep state probably made him do it or something, because his name was Googled before quite frequently before the event happened, which means somebody put him up to it and was checking the internet to see if it was done. I think this is what I surmised yesterday, the very first event of the terror strikes that will begin happening on our soil. That the events that Dmitry Duduman's grandson saw. He had a vision where he saw in the democratic states that there were terror events occurring, and we're told that our government will be busy with internal problems when the nukes hit. We would actually be busy with internal problems. So I could see the way it was told him is that these would be like sleeper cells that were waiting for this exact moment in time to wake up. So it's wild. I think we saw the first one wake up. Now imagine this happens in quite a few of the Democratic-held states. Remember, Trump knows something's going to go down. He's got wind of it because he sent them out to 19 different states. Washington, D.C. was one of them. So I think we saw the first one. I feel sorry for the people that got hurt, and it's going to be that the thing that breaks my heart about these times that we're living in is so many people are going to die. It's called a harvest for a reason. God's harvesting the earth, and it's very hard for our minds. Death does not feel natural to us, and it's hard for our minds to comprehend that many people dying. So anyways, that is going on. Russia's had some attacks themselves, as well as Russia, of course, attacking Ukraine and stuff. But I don't know if it was sabotage or not, but their only launch pad for launching I can't pronounce the name right, I don't think, but Roscosmos or something like that. It's their satellite and to their space station and everything. Their launch pad got destroyed. They had a missile blow up on the launch pad. So I don't know if there was sabotage involved in that. We're going to find, I'm sure we'll, after some investigation. Russia usually doesn't hide this kind of stuff when it happens. And then 2 oil tankers that are part of what they consider the Russian shadow fleet. Basically, they don't belong to Russia, but they belong to other countries that are coming and getting oil. They blew up 2 of them. And they had Chinese nationals on board and stuff, and they were flying under another country's flag. But basically, one was struck with a landmine in the Black Sea. They both perished in the Black Sea, and the other one was hit with a drone. Because, they're trying to make it too risky to go get Russian oil. They're trying to shut Russia down. And so that happened. And but one of the most interesting things, I think, was Yarmak, I think is his name. It's Zelensky's top aide. They're like buddies. They do everything together and all this. And Zelensky said that if he basically quits or is taken up, I'm done. Well, they got him on corruption charges. Now, who knows if these corruption charges even are legit? The bags of money could be planted in the apartments, and that our CIA is just picking them off one by one because they plan to replace Zelensky. Now, it's his top aide. It's the guy, it'd be like our vice president, okay? I think that this is Zelensky's last warning that he better make this deal. But the thing is that's so stupid in the whole matter. Putin just openly said, guys, that Zelensky can't sign anything. There has to be elections. So I don't know why they're trying to get so hard to get Zelensky on board. What they need to do is just, I mean, here's me trying to run the world. I would think it'd make a lot more sense just to get rid of Zelensky, hold elections in the country, and put something together that Russia could deal with. So, like, that doesn't make any sense to my mind, but I don't, we don't see what's going on behind the scenes, right? We don't see that. So anyways, people are surmising that Trump is waiting for the holiday, this Thanksgiving, Black Friday, whole thing this weekend to be over. So everybody has spent all their money, done everything they're going to do for his economy. And then he's going to go after Venezuela. But my question here is, he's not going to wait through Christmas. So he must be going to do this like Monday? I don't know. When he figures the weekend's over and people go back to work, probably on Monday. They're flying right now. They're doing jamming radar over Venezuela. The U.S. said that Venezuela's airspace was closed. How arrogant. Can you imagine if Canada told us that our airspace was closed? We're so arrogant. And then tell President Trump he can go ahead and go live in Europe, but he has to leave. That's what we're doing to Venezuela. We're telling their elected leader he has to leave, and then their airspace is closed. Oh, it's so arrogant. So arrogant. That's incredible. And by pride comes a fall. It'll be interesting to see how bad this fall is going to be. But 3i Atlas still is acting really weird. It's losing more mass than it should. It's the wrong color. It's got jets. It's doing so many weird things. So who knows, if it does not act or behave like a comet. So that's really interesting. And then on top of that, it's made a maneuver on its own. Everything, they punched it into AI, and it was like, basically AI told them it wasn't a comet. So where this is all going is going to be really interesting to see if it does actually land or get cast down to Earth and hit like the ocean, and then have aliens on board, or, demons. So, because Revelations 12 says they are cast down to the earth. So, and cast is a pretty strong word. It means they're like thrown into the earth. So it'd be interesting to see if it has to make a crash landing in the ocean or something. That's going to be very interesting. And trying to think of anything else I've seen or read or been thinking about, but I know we're really, really close. We are very, very close. And there's some who are watching for Hanukkah and things like this. And I say, guys, watch all the time. Just be aware and watch for events. If I see a time that's more, that lines up with something, then of course I'm going to be watching. We always watch more around feast days and things like that. And I want you to know that there's no sin in watching for Jesus, watching for a date, saying, I think it might be this day. I think it might be this day. There's no sin in that. There's no sin in that. And these people who get terribly upset that we're watching and they don't want you to watch and they think you should sit in the dark with them, they just don't want Jesus to come. And that's shame on them. It's all I got to say. And for those who want to talk nasty about Joshua and Holingwe, even if everything passes, guys, zero tolerance. I'm going to have zero tolerance for anybody saying anything nasty. You will lose your privilege to talk on my channel. There is no call for that. After all they've been put through and all the nasty things said to them, there is no call for that whatsoever. No Christian should be doing that. So let's talk about, I'm trying to think of anything else of huge importance that I saw today. I didn't get to see all the news, but there's just a lot of weather stuff that I've been noticing going on. A lot of weird phenomena in the sky, which is really interesting. And then a lot of the volcanoes and earthquake upticks. We have a huge sunspot now getting ready to face the earth or whatever, and it is humongous. Plus, we just had a pretty large earthquake in the California region over there. So we should be seeing, there should be a California quake that's huge, and that's the very last warning before the nukes hit. That's what Dmitry Dudin was told. The very last warning is a giant, huge earthquake. Now, whether that earthquake happens from natural means or whether that is Russia exploding a nuclear, because California is like a shelf like this. Like here's the ocean and it comes clear up like this, and California's out on the shelf. So I wouldn't be surprised if Russia doesn't, take one of their unmanned nukes, the undetectable, and go underneath and blow it up and lift that whole section and drop it. And if that isn't why that's their last warning because the nukes are getting ready to come in, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Would not surprise me at all. But so another thing is Japan, of course, and I talked about this a little bit last time. Just the new prime minister, she opened her mouth and said that they would come to the aid of Taiwan, and China released a map showing all the strike places they were going to strike in Japan, and it was not little places either. It was like nuclear reactors and things like that. And they said that they even told people to cancel, gave travel advisory warnings to Japan to not go there. And Chinese people are very, very patriotic to their country, and they just cancel. A whole bunch of them canceled their flights and vacation plans and stuff for Japan. And Trump actually told Japan to tone it down. Don't say that. So yeah, that happened. And it just goes to show how fragile everything is right now. When even just the mention of that put out a travel advisory, and then we supplied, I forgot, or Taiwan bought like $40 billion worth of military stuff off of us again. So yeah, I think you can just feel the tension in the news and in the air between all these countries. It's like everything, like a rubber band's all pulled at the same time, and they're all just getting ready to snap. I think once the rapture happens, it'll just be complete chaos. I think that the world will be unrecognizable because there's no restrainers left anywhere. God pulled all his kids out, and he's just going to let everybody have at it that's left here. All the demons are just going to maul each other and crawl and fight, and because there's nothing, it's the Father who is that which is good. And it isn't like the Holy Spirit necessarily leaves, because you can still repent, you can still be saved, there'll be a lot of Christians left behind, but it's like the angels protecting territories, because there's God's kids in territories. They step down, and so what happens is that these demons and stuff, they can just go do what they've been wanting to do, kill, steal, and destroy. My goodness, I tell you what, it's chilly day. Perfect day for a warm beverage, though, and just enjoy. I'm just going to enjoy today. I don't have to go back to work till Monday. Wouldn't it be nice if the rapture was on Sunday? Please. I'd like to go now. I'm ready. I don't know about you guys. I've been ready since I didn't find out late into the game on the September thing. Some of y'all was waiting 3 months before September 23rd and 24th. I think, when did I have my dream? It was sometime early September or something. And so I haven't been waiting as long as a lot of you. And so it feels like it's been 2 years, because I'm not used to watching for dates. I just watch for events. So a whole week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, and you might have one inkling of, see Iran and Russia pulling together, or you start seeing the countries, the 10 kings starting to form, and it's so exciting. But now things are happening so fast, and we're literally looking from day to day. For some reason, it's made it way longer, like September. My life is different since September. I think it really shook up the Christian community too. A lot of people really had to look into their hearts and say, oh my gosh, God's really coming back. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So I hope people were wise when it passed, and they're like, oh, thank goodness, it's not going to happen. Like, and then they just went back to their old ways, like a dog. How does the proverb say that? A dog returning to its vomit. I hope that everybody was able to hold on to the wisdom. A lot of people got like baptized, recommitted their lives, got closer to God. I hope that's still growing, and that that the Father used that to shake everybody. And then, I really think he did. Even my son, some of his friends, at least one in particular, said, it's okay. It's okay that it didn't happen. It made me I got baptized. I started reading my Bible. I got more serious with God. And so, look at all the good that came out of it. Yeah, some people, there's a lot of us that were disappointed and stuff like that. But look how many people were scared and actually realized they're not right. And it gave them time to get right. I mean, God is a merciful God. He loves us, and he wanted to scare us. He wanted us to think about, to really believe that was the day. He wanted us to believe it. But how many weren't ready? So he did it in such a way, it went viral, everything else, to scare everybody, to get people to think about their own spiritual state. How merciful of him to do it that way. But yet you've got just all these people are so, that also fell off the other end. They got so nasty and mad because it didn't happen. They just, they went off the where they looked and appeared to be the most excited. They actually went the other way. And this is really, really interesting. Like, how God used this whole Joshua and Helingwe, sending them to affect his body. And I thought about the last arrow. Joshua said he's the last arrow. When you go, this is something really interesting to do. I was like, what does that mean, the last arrow? And there are different meanings for it. And I encourage you to go look them up and do your own thinking on it. But it's like his final, the way I took it was, and you might come up with a different understanding, but the way I took it was his last direct act to towards his body, that was going to be life-changing. That's how I kind of took it. But you can go read it and type it in and, what it means and come to your own conclusion on that. But it's a very interesting thing to type in and research. And I'm trying to think of anything else news-wise that I saw in the news. There's just, I think, mostly, like I said, Trump is waiting for the holiday through this weekend, people to have their Thanksgiving dinners and do all their Black Friday shopping, because Trump is mostly just all about money. Very few morals there, mostly just the dollar bill and all that. But the whole 28-point peace plan and all that that Trump made out to be such a big deal is not big news, really. So, matter of fact, most of it's been shot down by both sides. So Yermak, I was going to say that about Yermak. He's, when he got knocked out of the, when you talk about the right-hand man, well, he was one of the ones that was presenting, like going and doing the peace plans and stuff for Zelensky. He was the top aide for that, and Zelensky's mouthpiece. Well, he posted some cryptic posts that he is going to the front lines. And I can't imagine a guy probably who has smuggled a lot of money out and probably has homes all over, that he would go to the front to plan to die. Like, I can't imagine him doing that. I think it might be either his way to just disappear and say, oh, he died on the front lines somewhere and we don't know where his body is. And then he could just go off and live his life somewhere else. That's probably it. But then I had another odd thought. He was the one in charge of all the militaries. Maybe his last act is to go try to coordinate the missile thing. But then I thought, well, Philip Barnett said he saw the U.S. was the one that shot the missiles. So I think the latter is probably more likely. He's probably decided, I saw a post, and I forgot who posted it, but they said the front lines in, yeah, he's probably in France by now. So I'm sure he's just wanted to go out as a hero and try to clear his name as much as he could, and then he's going to go live in one of the places he's bought with all of his ill-gotten gains. Think how foolish this is, to be this wicked, to cause that many people to die, be a part of that caused that, and then take all the money that was supposed to go to the military to win the war, take a whole bunch of that money and go buy yourself some villas so you can have a good retirement off the blood of all these people that, you know, had to die, that you sent out there to die or were part of sending out there to die. And then when it's all over, and God harvests the earth, they get nothing but hellfire. There's no villas left. I mean, we're looking at the tribulation is only max 7 years. And they sold their soul to the devil for nothing. Wow. Wow. Absolutely insane. So, anyways, guys, I don't really have a lot else that I can think of right now at this very moment, but there is just a lot of Campo Flegrei is in Italy, and it is just getting. It is literally the people who need to evacuate. They have just no place to go. It's so scary. They're having earthquakes there. There's just a lot of planetary alignments. Sun's going crazy. Weird sky phenomenon. I have seen some of the weirdest sky phenomenon, and a lot of really strange things going on. We definitely live in interesting times. I even saw, not too far from where I'm at, sinkholes opening up. And Missouri is where the state I live in. We have a lot of caves. We have a lot of caves, underground water, and little rivers and streams everywhere. So if the water is shifting on the planet, there's going to be like underground rivers moving and things. There's going to be a lot more sinkholes and different things like that. Florida, of course, is really bad for sinkholes, but a lot of stuff going on in this world. It's just only going to get crazier. When the rapture happens, it's just going to be utter chaos. The nuclear war will spread to several continents. All the wealthy nations get nuked. We know that. And China and Russia fight over our remains. And we were told through Dimitri that China beats the Russians all the way to the gates of Paris, and there they make a deal, and they make the Russians their leaders. So Philip Barnett saying that Russia was totally destroyed and all this and that's not true. And that was in his automatic writing, not in the actual vision he had, as far as I understand. He doesn't like Russia. This is why I don't trust automatic writing, and I don't trust dreams, because you're going to see what, like with dreams, you see your own thinking, but with open visions, you can't fake an open, well, you could lie and say you had an open vision, but if you have an open vision, you know, you don't play a role in that like you do with dreams. And then, of course, actual visitations are huge. That's something like what Joshua encountered, where Jesus came and just told him to his face. That's huge. Now, as far as the prophecies go and dreams and stuff, also somebody that has been assigned from God to have prophetic dreams, I even take that more serious than somebody who just has a random dream. And but yeah, we're excited. I'm excited. I hope you're still excited. I hope you have, it's hard to wait, especially if you're suffering in any way, shape, or form. And waiting is much more difficult. But we can do this. When the Bible says, blessed are those who wait on the Lord, he really means it. There's a blessing in it. Excuse me. And those who love his appearing, you know, there's a reward for that. And guys, so let's not, you know, when I talk about don't lose your crown, I mean, don't let anyone talk you out of the joy in watching for the Lord. Don't let people drag you down the negative hole. That's why I cut all negativity from this channel that I can. I don't even entertain controversial things. I know, like, a person may not be mean to be negative on it, but if it's a controversial topic that could start fights. I'm like, no, I don't want any fighting. We're just going to be happy here. We're going to watch for Jesus. We're going to be looking to the sky. It's not about us even. It's about him. It's about watching for him. Once we're gathered, he said he will give us one heart, one mind, one way. Theological differences will be all gone. Everything will be explained. So there's no need to fight over all that stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get off this, guys. Let's keep watching for Jesus and remember that he is truth and he will straighten everything out in the end. Every misinformation that we've had will be fixed and all theological differences will be settled, and we can just look for his return, stop doing anything we know is wrong, live a clean life. All those who have their sins forgiven are safe. And then we're just watching for his events till he comes to get us. So guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video, Lord willing. Until then, guys, happy Bible studying and rapture watching. Bye for now.